Hello, wonderful people. It is Mark here from Undefined. I hope you're doing so well. Today, I really want to go through some of the top misconceptions that people have about us bisexual or bi plus people. And I'm going to offer, hopefully, some myth busters about them. So send this to people in your life who perhaps would like the education. Just before we start, this is not defining. If you're new here, you're so welcome. This is where we talk about bisexuality, asexuality, queerness, all of the in-betweens, all of those less talked about, less represented parts of the LGBTQ plus and questioning spectrum. So if that sounds good to you, then please click the subscribe button because we've got loads of content, and check the links below in the pinned comment for all the support that we provide. So the first misconception that people have about bisexuality, I think, is that it's just not a big deal, right? This is the thing that gets me so riled up, right? People are like, oh, you're bi. Well, who cares? Like, why is that important, right? Why are you talking about that, right? And this can come from like straight people, and it can also come from gay people as well sometimes. Being bi is an incredibly complex condition, right? We have the capacity for different types of attractions to all different types of people, right? We are so queer, right? In our experience, right? We are often fluid. So our attractions change and shift and evolve in different ways. We are the only identity who actually connects with the whole gender spectrum, right? We see beauty in everyone, and it's such a specific way of being that is so different from the hetero norm, so profoundly different, that I think it's just such a sin that people just think, oh, well, it's nothing, right? It's such a huge thing, and it affects us so greatly a lot of the time. The other thing is that bi people have extremely high rates, sadly, of poor mental health. You know, we go through so much, right? We experience rejection from the straight world, but we also experience rejection from the gay world. Yeah, people erase our identities. Yeah, people do not understand us. We have so much like obsessive anxiety and all of this kind of stuff around, like, well, what am I? Am I this? Am I that? Who am I attracted to? Is it this or is it that? It can be so confusing. And bi people are often treated pretty badly. And so that's why I say that this misconception is really wrong. Bi people experience a lot, and we are very different, and we are our own identity, and we have our own lived experience. So please, if somebody shares with you that they are bi, please just respect that and say, okay, cool, thank you for sharing that with me. The second misconception, I think, is that we are somehow sexually explorative or sexually liberated, or we're in some way more into like different kinks and stuff like that. This is completely not true. Some bisexual people are like that, but there is nothing about being bi that necessarily makes you more sexually active or more sexually adventurous or anything like that. Okay, there are plenty of straight and gay and all kinds of people who are into all kinds of things. So let's please de-link the term bisexual with any idea about the type of sex or the amount of sex that we might want to have. It's really important to make this distinction because a lot of bi people are unfortunately victims of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and this all comes down to the fact that people think that we are easy. They think that we're up for it. They think that we're off having threesomes all the time, right? I don't know about anybody else, but I'm certainly not, right? Anyway, the point is, look, bi people are just normal, everyday people, and We're just like anyone else. So that's it. By the way, if you are bisexual or somewhere on the bi spectrum and you want to come and meet with loads of other bi people, loads of other fluid, queer people, questioning people, then come and join us on our Patreon. It's patreon.com/notdefining. We have group sessions. We all get to know each other, and you can come and you can write to me and I can help you with anything you might be going through. Check the links below. I also have one-on-one coaching. So if you're having difficulties or you want to, do some focus work with me, then check the links below, and there's a lot of support there for you. So don't struggle with anything alone. The next misconception that people often get wrong is that they think that being bi some way kind of affects your sexual role or your sexual preferences. Okay, so a lot of people, if I'm in a gay bar, for example, they'll say, oh, you're bi. Oh, well, that must mean that you're a top, right? Anyone who knows me or who has seen my other videos will know that that's not necessarily the case, right? They may also think that if you're a bisexual woman, that you are in some way dominant or you're in some way butch or masculine, right? They might think that a bisexual man is going to be with a woman, but he's going to be very feminine or something like that. None of this is true, right? Bi people are so diverse. You miss a lot of bi people. So, we're all around. You don't know that we're bi. There's no one right way of looking bi or feeling bi or behaving bi, okay? So if you think you know what a bi person is like and what their preferences are, you don't. By the way, if you would like to know more about bisexuality and how it works, then I would really recommend my book. It is called Fluid, a guide for people with flexible sexuality. If you check out Fluid by Mark Cusack, anywhere where books are sold, then you can read all about it. It explains all about how sexuality works, that in between, and kind of how the bi spectrum works and all of the different types. So check out my book, Fluid by Mark Cusack. There's a link below, but you can check it out anywhere. And there will be an audio version out very, very soon, if not when you're watching this video. So the next one, I think, is this idea that in some way bisexual people want to talk about their identity. This is something that I get a lot. People are like, well, why do you talk about it? Because the thing is, you have to talk about being bi. Otherwise, people don't know, right? If I'm with a woman, people assume that I'm straight. If I'm with a man, people assume that I'm gay. If I'm in straight spaces, people assume that I'm straight. If I'm in gay spaces, they assume that I'm gay. There's no outward visible representation of being bi, and so we often find ourselves having to talk about it, and it's really annoying because then when we do, people are like, well, why are you talking about it? Or they'll ask us probing questions, and it's just like, you can't win. So if you know a bi person who is like trying to talk about it, please just respect them, just be like, cool, thanks for sharing that with me. It's just, we have to kind of talk about it, otherwise we get ignored. The next misconception is that somehow we are confused, or we're hiding, or we are on our way to identifying as something else. If you look at the research, I quote a lot of the research in my book, that's just not the case. It's just not the case. People think that you are on the train to Gay Town, or you are just pretending to be queer, but actually you're just a silly straight girl who wants to kiss her mates. No. That's completely untrue. It's just untrue. And the final misconception, which I think is a really, really important one to talk about, is that we have this kind of privilege. Now, sometimes some bi people may have privilege, right? Because they may be able to operate in the kind of heteronormative world. However, that is very, very, very much not the case for a huge amount of bi people, okay? So if you say, oh, bi people are just privileged and they're not really queer because they can just have all of the benefits of the straight world, no, that's really not the case for, I would say, most of us. We look at people who might have heteronormative presenting lives and think, oh, well, aren't they lucky? They can just get out of bed every morning and just choose if they want to be with a guy or be with a girl. No, that's not how bisexuality works. For the most part, it is a very confusing, very complex way of being. And you absolutely cannot say that we just choose it. It is as offensive and as wrong to say that about bi people as it is to say that being gay is a choice, right? It's just not true. So hopefully we can all learn to just respect everyone and respect everyone's different levels of privilege, whatever that might be. So anyway, those are just a few of the misconceptions that people have about bi people. Do you have more? Have you experienced some of these? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And as I say, if you would like some focused support, then please come to me for coaching or come to our mentoring group on Patreon. The links are down below. If you would like to hear more about biphobia and some of the, the things that we have to face as bi people, then check out these videos. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Thanks for listening and have a great day. Bye for now.